let's say the prayer. Welcome to today's, I think, the 17th class, and let's start the prayer. Think of all the gurus in your mind when you start learning anything. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Say Hare Krishna loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I want you to look at this next slide and try to revise in your mind the names of the chapters and whatever comes to your mind when you read them. Okay, so in chapter 1, we had discussed how Arjuna becomes very sorrowful. It is his Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The chapter is also called Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. So I had given you in the first few classes the Kuru dynasty's family tree. We had seen that. We saw how Pandavas were eligible and were supposed to take the kingdom from Dhritarashtra, but they were not willing to give it. And how at last the battle of Kurukshetra, the Mahabharata war took place. And how Arjuna felt very sad when he saw his enemies in the battlefield and how he therefore seeks Krishna to guide him. He seeks guidance from Krishna. So in chapter 2 was the main summary of the whole Gita in chapter 2. So if you have any of the Gitas, especially if you, I would recommend you to read Bhagavad Gita as it is. Then please read these 5 chapters because we have done them now and ask me doubts by next class. So in chapter 2, we learned the main, knowledge of the whole Gita summarized. It's called the Sankhya Yoga, which is, it differentiates between what is real and unreal, what is temporary and what is permanent. Okay, in chapter 3, we understood Karma Yoga. In chapter 4, we understood transcendental knowledge, which is called Jnana Yoga. It's also called renunciation of action or Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. You have the knowledge and you're also renouncing your actions to God, and that yoga you understood in chapter 4. In chapter 5, you have understood Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which is similar to Karma Yoga, but here Krishna will focus when again Arjuna will ask, although Krishna says, now you got knowledge, come on, get up and fight now. Then again Arjuna will say, want more explanation, right? Again Arjuna will say, but I'm still not clear. And then Krishna will again explain to Arjuna what is the importance of, importance for him, why he should do his action in Krishna consciousness and be completely free from all sins, and also he will be doing his duty. It is also called the yoga of inner renunciation. Okay, and we understood the word renunciation, but whenever you want, we can revise again. Okay, so today's class,
Okay, ma'am.
Today's we are going to do a little bit in opposite order. You're going to chant first, do the quiz, and then we will do the Krishna story, which is very interesting and important. We'll also do I want you to also revise 2 important verses. Okay? Anybody has joined? All right. So let's chant together. Let's have Nisha. Can you chant first?
What to chant?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Once you can chant.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very good, Misha. Niranjan, please chant once, dear.
Okay, ma'am. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nice. Anushka, can you chant once?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Good, good. So before I will ask you to do the quiz. Just three of you are there. I want you to
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare, who is joined? Arya. Arya has also joined. Nice to see you, Arya. Hare Krishna, dear. So, four of you can do the quiz after you listen to me. Quickly, I'll give you a summary of last class. Last class, we actually, we didn't have the class. Before that, we celebrated Narasimha Jayanti, right? Narasimha Chaturdashi.
Yes,
Jayanti.
ma'am.
And we understood the story of how Narasimha was born. We understood how the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, and I was asking you, what is Vaikuntha? It's the place where the Supreme Personality of Godhead resides, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
and the word Vaikuntha, Kuntha means worry. Okay, what is the meaning of Kuntha? What does Kuntha mean? Worry, anxiety. Okay, Kuntha means a lot of worry and anxiety. Vaikuntha means where there is no anxiety, no worries. That place where Krishna is there, where Supreme Personality is there. And we learn the story of how the four sages, small sages, they are always like small babies, but actually they are very spiritual and they are old actually. And they curse the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya. Why? Because Jaya and Vijaya, they don't allow these four sages to enter Vaikuntha. They don't allow, also because Jaya and Vijaya, they actually believed in, the energy of Krishna. They were not able, they didn't actually believe in Krishna's form. So they didn't allow Jaya and Vijaya inside, and they were cursed to be born as demons on the earth. And last class, I had told you that they were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, then Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupala and Dandavakra, not Kamsa, okay? Shishupala and Dandavakra. I had made a mistake there. So I'm correcting today. So those are the three different times these Jaya and Vijaya are born because of the curse of the four Kumaras, right? Then we learned in chapter 5 how, in the knowledge where you have doing work in Krishna consciousness, we learned how we need to accept that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices, and he is a true well-wisher because he is the one who knows everything, right? So we learned mainly that in this entire chapter, that is what we learned. If we know about the birth and the activities of the Lord, then we will become free from miseries. We will not have any sadness if you're able to just understand and think and be in the consciousness of Krishna being the ultimate controller, Krishna being the ultimate enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, and Krishna being our, best well-wisher, because only he knows exactly what is good for us. Nobody else in the whole
Yes,
world
ma'am.
will be able to know. Hare Krishna, Ritika, good to see you. So I'm just revising the last class, which was on 15th of May. So in that, we learned how Krishna is a supreme enjoyer, he's a well-wisher, and how can we have peace and how can we have happiness? A person who is conscious of Krishna, his his various avatars, that Krishna is born in many countless avatars, not just the 10 which we learn about as children. There are actually countless avatars, many avatars, but we always learn on the main ones. And the most important three will be that of Rama, Krishna, and before that, that of Narasimha Murti. Okay, so these are the three ones which most of the time we think and chant about or listen to these stories. And how can one person get unlimited happiness? Will he get happiness if he gets ice cream to eat? Will it be
Yes,
permanent?
ma'am.
He will be happy. But
No.
if you get permanent, if you get unlimited permanent happiness, no, right? If you get, suppose you wanted a car a BMW car. You get the BMW car, you drive it for some time, and then you get bored of it. Then you want the next better car. So these happinesses in the material world, the people who are peaceful and happy, they actually know that these pleasures of material world are not permanent. So they are able to constantly be conscious of Krishna, which makes them free from desire for material pleasure. Not that they don't get material pleasure, they get lots based on their karma. They will get all the material pleasures in this birth also, but they have reached a higher level now, and they have enjoyed the higher taste of bhakti, right? Of prem bhakti. So they are ones who are enjoying ultimate happiness and peace. So today's shlokas, we are going to do same shlokas which we have been learning so that we can revise them. If we are going to do once more 4.9 and 4.10, because we are doing the different transcendental activities of Krishna. We did Narasimha Avatar last time. Today we are going to do Krishna Avatar. Okay. So in 4.9 and 4.10 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, one who knows the transcendental nature or spiritual nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take birth again in the material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. That means somebody who is an atheist or who doesn't believe that Krishna has come in this world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has come in this world many times. And he has come in his original form as Krishna also, who doesn't know all these. What happens to them? They will again and again be born in the material world, and they will constantly have to deal with sorrows and happiness and victory and success, and they'll run after carrots. The donkey will run after carrots. Oh, I want to study and become a doctor. You study and you become a doctor. Then you're happy? No. Then after, oh, I want a big house with a lot of gardens. Then you get a big house and gardens. Are you happy? No. So they go on and on. And in fact, based on their deeds, they may even get lower births of animals, and they have to go on struggling in the material world. But if someone knows that Krishna is the ultimate controller, and they know about his spiritual, appearance, that it's not a normal material birth like any other human being being born. Krishna is not like that, nor are all his other avatars. One who knows that, they become, what happens to them? They become free from attachment, fear, anger, and fully absorbed in Krishna. They take refuge in Krishna, and many persons in the past, this way they became purified and they got Prem Bhakti, which is transcendental love for Krishna. Prem Bhakti is, in English, what do you say? Transcendental love. Okay, for Krishna. So these are the two shlokas we are going to revise today. I want you to repeat after me.
Yes, ma'am.
Just repeat. Now listen to me and repeat. Janma karma cha me divyam. Say.
Janma karma che me divyam.
Evam yo veti tattvataha.
Evam yo vekita tava.
Tyaktva deham punarjanma.
Tasva devam
Punarjanma.
Naiti mameti sorjuna.
Naiti
Nameti Surjuna.
Very nice. So one who knows the divine nature of Krishna's birth and deeds, they don't get rebirth. They don't have to be born again. Now, the next one is, they will go to spiritual world. They will enjoy freedom in the spiritual world. Let's look at the next one. Vita raga bhaya krodha.
Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha.
Manmaya mamupashritaha.
Manmayama apashita.
Bahavo jnana tapasa.
Bahavo jnana
Tapasa.
Uta madbhava magataha.
Bhagavata.
Very nice. Mad Bhava means is similar to Prem Bhakti. Okay. Now, can you see the slide? We're going to do quickly the story of birth of Krishna. For a long time I've been saying. Last one of the classes we did the Lord Brahma taking goddess Earth to Vaikuntha. Right? Today we'll try to
Yes,
finish the
ma'am.
other 8 chapters. So what I'll do is, instead of, let me stop sharing this. Today, instead of having you to be reading it turn by turn, I will just go through it so that we can do more chapters. Okay, otherwise we are stuck. We are not able to make good progress. Okay, but I wanted you to do the quiz. Okay, so let me give you the quiz link first. Can you, based on this revision, whatever we have done, no, there's a simple 4 questions. Okay, I would like you to do this quiz. I'm putting it in the chat here. I think so. Even those who are doing in the lab, in the mobile, will be able to do the quiz. Just click on this link in the chat and see. Just click on the link and you have to just be entering through your Gmail account. Try once and then we'll go to Krishna stories. Just try this. I put it in the WhatsApp also. Just try it quickly and then we'll move on. Just 4 questions are there. Arya, Anushka, Ritika. Anushka, any idea why Arav hasn't come today? Niranjan and Nisha.
No, ma'am.
No. All right. So which screen are you able to see now?
Ma'am, the life and deeds of Lord Krishna.
All right. Have you finished the quiz or shall I wait some more? 2 of you have answered the quiz. Niranjan and Nisha have answered the quiz. Good, Nisha. But you answered
Ma'am,
the
it is
quiz.
asking to sign in, and right now, I don't remember my Gmail.
Ma'am, I have done.
Yeah, good, Nisha. Ritika, you can do it later. Arya and Anushka also, you can do it later. Okay, it's there in the chat also.
Ma'am, I finished the quiz.
Okay, you also finished. All right, fine. So let's start the class today, and you can finish the quiz. Those who haven't finished can finish it after the class also. It's based on just the revision I did so far, right? All right. So the life and deeds of Lord Krishna are very nice and beautiful and important to read. And whenever you get time, you should, you don't get tired of listening to the story, even though you know it. Every time you listen to it, listen to Krishna's birth stories or his different activities, you get more and more joy. So as I told you, I'm referring to book by Dr. V. Gauri Suresh, my mother. And also I've added lines and pictures. Pictures are not only from the book Krishna, but from the net also. And I have added some of the lines from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, written by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. So already we have read last class, one of the classes before, we read about the author, Dr. Gauri Suresh's preface. We finished that. And we also finished chapter 1. And chapter 2 also, we had done the first paragraph. Okay, so I want you to listen very carefully today. I'm going to be reading today, and you all can ask doubts. If you want to read for some time in between, you can raise your hand. Okay, so this was chapter introduction also we finished. Actually, if I scroll, no, it goes very fast. We finished introduction and we finished. We are going to try and finish till chapter 9 before 11, okay, where we up to ecstasy in Gokul. Then other chapters we will do some other time after we do a few more chapters. Okay, because it's nice to do this book, reading along with studying Gita. So chapter 1, we learned of Brahma. See, this is a picture of how Brahma and all the demigods, and who is that cow sitting at the back there when they're all praying to Lord Vishnu? Who is that cow?
The Ganga.
The cow.
River Ganga. Oh, Yamuna.
Mother Earth. Mother Earth is in the form of a cow. Okay. So Brahma and Mother Earth and all demigods, how they sit and pray to Krishna and how Krishna promises to come. Okay. So we'll just do the last paragraph of this also and then we'll start. Now listen carefully. When all the Brahma and all the different demigods and Mother Earth in the form of a cow, they go to Vishnu or Mahavishnu or Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does he say? He says, shed your anxiety. Don't worry anymore. I will see to everything. I will be born as the son of Vasudeva, the Yadava chief, and his wife Devaki. So Krishna is born as a son. Okay, he's just born as a son. He's always there. Now he is taking birth on the earth we learned in Gita in chapter 4 again. He comes on the earth to save the good people and to destroy the evil and establish dharma. Right? He says, I will be born as Vasudeva, Yadava chief, and Devaki's son. Before I am born, before that, my constant companion Ananta. Have you seen the picture of Vishnu? He sleeps on a big serpent, the king of serpents, Ananta. Now, Ananta will take birth in the human form as Balaram before I am born, and also goddess Maya will be born on the earth as human beings for some time, and all the devas and celestial maidens, they will all use their power, they will all be born in the Gokul and in that area where Krishna is going to be there and wait for Krishna's arrival. So then Vishnu specially says, Mother Earth, you don't have to grieve anymore. I'm going to be a Purnavatar this time and I will do whatever is needed to help people in the Kali Yuga. So Lord Brahma and all others were very elated to hear this, very happy, thanking Hari profusely. These are the different names of Vishnu, who is also called Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, all that. And they thanked Hari and they returned to their respective abodes. Now let's quickly do chapter 2 to 9. Listen carefully. Those days, Mathura, which is in present UP, was ruled by Ugrasena. Ugrasena was the father of Kamsa. Kamsa was his son. Ugrasena had a younger brother, Devaka. So Devaka's daughter is Devaki. So Kamsa's own sister is not Devaki. Devaki is actually Kamsa's cousin sister, his father's brother's daughter. So Devaki's marriage was fixed with Vasudeva, who was a son of Shurasena belonging to the Yadava race. So Bhoja dynasty, the Ugrasena is of Bhoja dynasty and Yadava race, they were going to be united in marriage, Devaki and Vasudeva. So Devaki was Kamsa's cousin sister, right? And so her marriage ceremony was celebrated with great pomp and show in the palace of Ugrasena. After the marriage, the procession having elephants, horses, chariots, and royal emblems, they all started getting ready to go to Vasudeva's residence, right? So the girl after marriage is going to Vasudeva's house. Out of brotherly affection towards Devaki, Kamsa, what does he decide to do? He says, I'm going to be your charioteer. And thus the chariot, carrying the bride and groom, rolled forward with Kamsa in the charioteer's seat. People thronged on both sides. Thronged means crowded. They crowded on both sides to witness this royal procession. You see, in the marriage procession, so many people will be there, all in festive mood, dancing and happy. Suddenly what happened is there was a loud, clear voice from the sky. It's called Ashariri. That means a voice without a body. This is produced by the different demigods. Okay, they are creating this. They decide to proclaim this. What do they say? If the meeting ends, children, just join again and we'll continue this beautiful story. So as Kamsa is driving the chariot with his cousin sister Devaki at the back and Vasudeva, whom she is marrying at the back, suddenly a loud ashariri is heard. A loud voice, "Hey Kamsa, know that the eighth son of this sister of yours will put an end to your life." All was stunned, everybody was shocked. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.34 purport, it says that Kamsa was actually very affectionate. He loved his sister and therefore he had become the chariot driver to carry her and his brother-in-law to their home. But the demigods are all the devatas and devis, who are actually doing the administration for Krishna or for the Supreme Personality. They actually did not want Kamsa to be affectionate. Why? So that is why they make this sound from an unseen, ashariri position, because they wanted to encourage Kamsa to offend Devaki. Why? Because the 6 sons of Marichi, who had been cursed, they were cursed to take birth from the womb of Devaki, and only when they die, they will be delivered and they can go back. So the Devas wanted the 6 sons to be, killed. They actually wanted the curse to happen so that they'll be born. Those 6 sons of Marichi, they were cursed, they will be born and they will go back to God. So that is the reason why the big sound comes like that. And then what happens, just as predicted, because of his nature, he's a demon by nature. Although he's born in a good royal family, he was a demon by nature. So immediately he got infuriated, means angry. Infuriated means angry. He got infuriated and he jumped from his seat. He pulled Devaki by her hair and he was about to behead her with his sword. When suddenly Vasudeva, also he jumped down, he jumped there and he prevented him from doing so. He caught his hand. Can you see in this picture? He catches the hand of Kamsa and stops him from killing Devaki, whom he is holding with, Kamsa is holding with the hair. So Vasudeva tells Kamsa, don't commit such a heinous crime, Kamsa. The whole world will shun you if you kill a woman, that to your sister. Moreover, what is her crime? Her child, that to a child is only going to kill you. So what is her crime? Why are you being so heartless? Are you afraid of death? Don't you know that one who is born has to die? In fact, the day one will die is already decided. Some will die young, some will live long, but everyone has to die. Don't fear death. Don't incur the sin of murder on yourself. Kamsa was not moved at all. He didn't bother with all these philosophical language that everyone has to die. He didn't want to hear all this. Because of his demoniac association, he was a demon, right? A demon is one who never cares. I think these lines are from Prabhupada's book, these particular lines. A demon is one who never cares for any good instruction. He is like a determined thief, one who can give him moral instruction. You can give him, if someone is a demon by nature, you can tell him lot of good things. This is good for you, this is what you should do. But because of the atheistic demoniac nature, nothing good they will understand. Assimilate means understand. However authorized, you will say this great Krishna himself came and told you this, still he will not be bothered. He doesn't want to listen because of his demoniac nature. So Vasudeva, he understood that it's not working. He stopped advising Kamsa and he said, think, Kamsa, of the meaning of the ashariri. The danger is from Devaki's 8th son, not from Devaki. I promise you, I will give you all the children, not even only the 8th child, I will give you every child of Devaki as soon as he or she is born. Please do not harm my wife now. Right? So he says, don't harm my wife. Kamsa then he agreed. He felt a little soft and he said, okay, fine, I agree. And he spared Devaki. Vasudeva then proceeded to his palace. Vasudeva goes to his palace along with Devaki. Now we'll see how the first child is born. What happens? The name of Krishna's eldest brother, that is the first child who was born to Vasudeva and Devaki, is Kirtiman. All right. In due time, Devaki gave birth to the first child. Vasudeva, with a very heavy heart, he's so sad to give the child to Kamsa. He took the little boy, Kirtiman was born. He took Kirtiman and he went to Kamsa. Now, Kamsa is not really very, very wicked. And, at times we can see that he's a little soft. His stone heart had melted. When he saw Vasudeva with a cute Kirtiman in his arms, he said, "Oh, I don't see any reason for killing this baby." The Ashariri, or the sound, the big sound which came in the sky that day, was that the eighth son will kill me. So I'll only kill him. You can all have you can have all your other 6 children. And thanking Kamsa profusely, Vasudeva was so happy. Yay, he's not killing all the children, and he brought the son Kirtiman home. Vasudeva and Devaki were overjoyed, and they started taking care and enjoying Kirtiman, their first child's company. Now, one day, Sage Narada, what happens? Sage Narada, he comes to Kamsa's palace. Why does he come? This one in italics as from the other book. He was informed of Kamsa becoming compassionate. He came to know that Kamsa became compassionate to Vasudeva, and he said, "Take Kirtiman back." Now, Narada actually wanted to, like all the other demigods also, they wanted to accelerate, means make it fast, the coming of Krishna. And also they wanted these 6 people who are going to be born, they actually are cursed. They are supposed to be in heaven. They're supposed to be in the higher spiritual places. So he wants them actually to die fast so that they can go. So what does Narada do? He instigates Kamsa. He says, "Oh king, why do you spare Devaki's son? You must be thinking that you need fear only of 8th son. Don't you think it will be easy to kill the 8th son when 7 elder brothers are there? Don't you think it won't be easy to kill if 7 elder brothers are there? So I think you should kill all the sons. I have heard that all sons of Devaki are actually part of Lord Vishnu. They're all going to be strong."
Ma'am,
Yes, Misha?
ma'am, can I drink milk?
Yes, sure, Misha. You can just listen as you're drinking milk, no problem. Yeah. So, Narada says that Krishna will be only 8 sons. But if you don't kill all the brothers, they will all be big brothers protecting Krishna. And it will be more difficult for you to kill the 8th son. So he says that I have also come to know that all the Yadavas and Gopas also have some Vaishnava strength. They all have Vaishnava means a devotee, a pure devotee. So all he says, I have come to know that all the devotees of the Lord are all coming and being born, and Lord Vishnu, who is partial to asuras, will surely harm you. So do what is done to be done at the right time. Don't wait. Kill them now only. So as expected, as soon as Narada said this, what does Kamsa do? Kamsa becomes red with anger. Children, the meeting will stop. Just join again. He becomes red with anger, and on hearing Narada's speech, and after Narada goes, Kamsa goes straight to Vasudeva's palace, and he kills Kirtiman. Not only that, he wanted to make sure that no child is left out, He wanted to kill them all. So what does he do? He takes Kamsa and Devaki back and he puts them in a dungeon, like in a prison, a huge underground prison sort of thing, a big dungeon. He locks them there. To get absolute power, what does he further do? Look how cruel he is. He imprisons his own father also, and he becomes king to make sure that everything is in place and he is in control. He puts his father in prison and he becomes a king, so he's powerful. And he brings Vasudeva and Devaki and he imprisons them also. Now, in the prison cell, Devaki gives birth to her 2nd son. On getting the news from the guards, Kamsa rushed to the prison and he kills the 2nd son also. In this way, all the first 6 sons of Devaki and Vasudeva are all killed, one after the other. And actually, they are happy to die because they were supposed to be born just to complete a curse, and they want to actually not live the human life. They want to go back. So it actually helps them. And the 6 infants are therefore killed. Now, here there are a few lines. This action of Kamsa, how does Kamsa behave? It's not difficult. If you go to history, you will find many instances of people who are in the royal order who are, they kill their father or their brother or their whole family or friends just to satisfy. Even in Shakespeare stories, there are stories, no, where someone kills the king so that they can become king. It's because